Today, we are at the Fireplace in Poland, Ohio, celebrating their 10th anniversary along with our 10th anniversary.
Let me ask this question. Who did you pay off up there to get weather like this?
Boy, we got lucky this weekend, I'll tell you. To the east of us, we got the hurricanes over in the Carolinas, and they're just dumping water on everybody, like 20, 30, 40 inches of rain on that whole area there. And today it's like absolutely gorgeous. The whole weekend's been gorgeous.
Well, our condolences go out to those people that are suffering down there, and actually probably had to come up here to avoid that.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. But here we're in Poland, Ohio, and it's absolutely perfect. The cars are starting to pour in now, and we got a nice show lined up today. We probably get this is not a very big show like some of the ones we've been to, but it's a smaller show. It's a real nice show. This is probably our third time we've been here in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And every time it's just so nice, and the guys are so great, and it's just a good place.
It's fun, and one thing about this is a small lot, but they're going to pack it full, and we do have something special for you at the end coming up from the town of Mayberry.
I'm Rick Guerrero.
And I'm Greg Roten.
For Armstrong Street Scene, let's go inside and check it out.
Let's go.
With me, I have Jerry Miglitz. You've probably seen this mug on our show a few times before.
It's not on the post office, though, which is a good thing.
Milk carton. I see that.
Milk
carton. Jerry's been on our show a number of times at the Fireplace and the various car shows around.
Over at the Shepherd Storage.
Yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And he's putting this show on today here at the Fireplace over here in Poland, Ohio. And you guys have been doing this, 10 years now?
10 years on Thursday night cruises, every Thursday night for the past 10 years. He said, hey, Jared, let's have a car show. I said, Garrett, what do we know about car shows? Well, we got cars, and that's enough, we'll show them. And that's how this thing started. For 10 years now, we've been doing this and having crazy fun on it.
Yes.
Today's a little different. Normally we have our wrap-up show on Thursday night. One of the guys that has the Mahoning Valley Car Cruises Facebook, Michael Adamski, says, why don't you have something on a Sunday afternoon? Okay. How are we going to do that? Get people together, do this on a Sunday afternoon. So we should start putting it together early in the year and that kind of stuff on it. And then I thought, why don't we cruise over to Quaker Steak and Lube after this? And he also suggested, well, there's a guy that looks like Barney Fife. Why don't you get him in here? So we got Barney Fife in here, and we got Jeff Wilson in his cars. There's 3 of them over here on it. So it's a little thing different for me. But I'll tell you what, I couldn't have asked the Lord for a better day for this weather. It's nice, and probably about 2 a.m. this morning. A little different, but I think we're going to have a great time.
Yeah, we got lucky with that hurricane out east there. And they're getting hammered out there.
That's
2 to 3 foot of rain.
You got it.
It's crazy. And we got so lucky today. It's been a perfect weekend. What a great day. We're towards the end of the season now doing car shows. We're in the middle of middle of September. And before you know it, another month from now, people are going to be wrapping them up, putting them in.
You know what I tell them?
Putting them asleep.
And I said, when they don't come out, I says, wait a second. On November 12th, when you got 4 inches of snow, you're going to say, why didn't I take my car out at the end of October?
Yeah.
So getting them out here, and I'll tell you what, show wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for the people who come out here cruising.
Right.
These guys, I think we got best cruisers around town.
Sure.
In here, I mean, all around the Youngstown area, Youngstown, Sharon, Warren area. We got a ton of guys and a ton of nice cars too, which makes a big difference on it.
Right. Thursday night here at the Fireplace. Every Thursday night.
Every Thursday.
Warm weather.
And next year, if the creek don't rise, God willing, we're going to start again for our 11th.
When do you usually start?
Probably around the 1st of May, 1st to the 10th of May.
How rainy it is.
Yeah, depending on if there's no snow on the ground and it doesn't rain, then we're going to start it again.
I always say it's April showers bring May flowers, but lately it's been May showers bring June flowers.
The crazy thing about this, we've had 13 shows plus this one, and we had 9 no-shows. We've about 7 rainouts. We had a couple we couldn't have because of previous commitments the Fireplace had. So, and the money we raise, I think we're going to do fairly good this
Where's
year.
the money go?
Akron Children's Hospital. Every bit of it goes to them. We and the great sponsors between the Fireplace, RLM Electric, Buckeye Restoration. They're the ones that foot the bill for the trophies and the dash plaques and that. And we're gonna have a little thing different this tonight also today. Carmen Vecchione, Friends of the Fireplace. He was in Buchwald concentration camp. He's a World War II vet.
Wow.
And we have a young lady over here that's going to sing the national anthem for him on it, and a little special tribute to Carmen and for our veterans. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Must have been a young chap at that time.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
Boy.
So.
With me, I have Ron Napaver from Canfield, Ohio. It was 1940 Ford pickup.
That's correct, yes.
This is a beauty.
Thank you.
This
Appreciate
is
it.
really nice. How long have you owned her?
About 7 years.
What have you done to it?
We just started build a frame up restoration. Totally every part, component changed, every bushing, every washer, every rubber bushing, everything all done.
So you got into it then, huh?
Yeah, it's totally
More than you start out something like this and you go, okay, I'm going to only do this and this.
Right.
Next thing you know, it's like you're doing the whole thing.
my whole thing, yeah.
Where'd you pick this up at?
A gentleman in Boardman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and his dad were going to build it for a project, and his dad got sick, and I found out about it. And the guy who did the paintwork said, "Hey, I found you a machine to put together, and let's go look at it." Bought it that day.
How was the body? Good?
Oh, it needed some work, but it's
Rust free or what?
well, it need cap corners and some floor work, but it came from California.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
California truck.
So you basically you can find the body parts for this pretty easy.
Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there catalogs for this one too?
There
There's
is.
catalogs
Yeah,
for anything.
Max Auto Parts sells a lot of parts for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the flathead engines, they're more and more popular now. So
Well, yeah, what have you done under here?
So the flathead is it's called an 8BA. It's bored 30 over. It's got a Winfield cam in it. It's got the Offenhauser heads, Offenhauser intake, 2.2s. It's got all electronic Mallory ignition, 12 volt. Fuel pressure regulation, keeps the carbs running right. You don't blow the gaskets out. Yeah, it's smooth running. Starts the first click.
Looks good. It looks good. Run. Is it a daily driver?
Yeah, as much as I can.
You
Yeah,
can take it everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
How far have you had it?
Oh, like down to near Pittsburgh, and you know.
No problem. Just
No, it
cruising
just
on?
cruises right down the road.
How's the
70
gas?
miles an hour.
How's the gas mileage?
I don't know. I don't check it. It's not real good, but
I was watching mine today coming here. It's like, oh, that full deeper. My
Yeah.
gas gauge just goes. It's just like going,
Yeah.
It's just draining. I said, I got a
Yep.
hole in that tank or what?
we were just talking about that coming over. I said, well, just watch the gas gauge. It's like a tack. Yeah.
How about the undercarriage? What have you done there?
It's completely sandblasted, all painted. This is a true 1940 Ford, all original. Every component that we put on it, we try to keep original. It's an all steel car. If you try to lift one of these fenders, it takes 2 guys.
Oh yeah, I could. That's yeah. They're strong.
Every part was painted individually, and then the car was assembled. The truck was assembled.
What color paint are we talking?
This is Red Fire. It's a 2007 Ford Mustang.
Did a nice job on it. Just really nice. Just a perfect paint
It makes
job.
it pop. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
It does. It has a nice eye appeal, and it's
Did you drop this some?
yeah, it's dropped in the front end about 3 inches and a couple inches in the back. We put shocks all the way around it. Pretty much all updated as much of the suspension as we can. As you know, you have these, you keep improving them as
Sure.
time
Oh,
goes
sure.
along.
They're
You modernize it a little more, modernize it more for safety than anything else.
You got seat belts in it?
I do have seat belts in it.
Good, good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's one of the things you got to have.
I don't use them all the time, but they're in there.
Okay.
They always fall behind the seat.
I wonder what would happen if you would get picked up by the cops and
I don't think it matters because it didn't have them in it when it was original.
because nowadays click it or ticket. You know?
Right, that's right.
With me today here at the Fireplace, we got a special feature. We got Todd Beckett, who plays Barney Fife.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Barney, what's going on there?
Everything's A-OK in Mayberry.
I see that.
Looks like it's going to be a real good car show.
Very good.
Weather's good for us.
How long you been doing this now?
10 years.
10 years now?
Yes.
Where'd you get the car at? Is this original?
No, I built it as a driver. I drive it everywhere. Yesterday I was down in Lost Creek, West Virginia, doing a car show. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I get 40 smiles per mile.
Oh, it is a lot of fun. You do have that Barney. You do look like Barney there.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Barney's been gone how many years now?
He went in 06, February of 06.
10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the time I acquired the car.
He had a good run. Good run.
Yes. Very funny man.
So how often do you do these shows?
It's pretty much every weekend throughout the summer.
Right. Okay.
There's always something going on.
How about the other
And then-
car? There's another car that comes with this, another police car or something? No?
Well, you get me and this car if you so desire.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of other squad cars out there in the state of Ohio.
Right.
And actually years ago, I think it was Bradford, Ohio, they used to host the Mayberry Days. And it's petered out. So.
Was that where Andy Griffith was from or something?
No, Andy was from Mount Airy, North Carolina. Now it's coming up in 2 weeks, the end of September, down in Mount Airy. This is a hop, skip, and a jump.
You'll be there.
Yes.
Very
Be there
good.
Having fun.
How do they get in touch with you if you want to?
I got a flyer with a email and phone number.
What is it?
Phone number is the easiest. 330-880-3125.
How available are you?
Well, it usually, if it's not on a weekend, pretty much any time. But going into the weekends in the summer and everything, they start reserving a spot usually February.
So you're pretty busy then.
Yes.
And you cruise with this everywhere.
Yes.
It takes you
I
everywhere.
put about 8,000 miles on through the summer.
What year is this?
This is a 1963 Ford Galaxy.
This is the original, not the original car, but this is
It's done. Yeah, it's done just like the original. Watched a lot of episodes and would freeze it on the computer, take notes, and move on.
With me, I have Frank Sika from North Olmsted, Ohio. How's it going?
Excellent. How are you doing today?
Welcome to the Fireplace.
Oh, thank you.
What a beautiful day, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful day. Frank's sporting a 1953 Chevy 3100
Yes,
truck.
pickup.
How long have you owned it, Frank?
Probably about 4 or 5 years now. And I don't know if I should. Yeah, I'll do it. I was doing this for a friend of mine. His son owns Tabor Landscaping, and he decided to sell it before it was finished, and it went through about 5 people, and then I finally bought it and put it together, finished it up.
Looks good.
Thank you.
What have you done to it now? It's like you did a lot to it. I can see that. A heck of a lot.
Well, I originally subframed it for Herb, and I did the rear end, and I set everything up. Everything was already set up, and like I say, it went from person to person, and then I bought it back and I painted it. I put everything on it. I mean, it was all apart when I got it in crates. And the paint's a Summit paint, and it works real nice.
And you're still not done with the paint, right? You said you just...
I never buffed it out, and I'm happy with it the way it is. So I'm pleased with their paint.
How about the interior? I see you got different seats in it and everything.
Yeah, upholstery shop in Niles did my interior, and
What's that seat out of?
that's out of a Toyota pickup.
Okay.
Because
Fit right in?
Well, I made it fit.
Okay.
You got to have a narrower seat in these for a person of my height, you know. And it works perfect. Drives excellent. Like I say, power steering, power brakes, cruise control, air.
Air conditioning.
It's loaded, yeah.
Wow, you got it looking good. What do you got under the hood here? Can we check it out?
Yeah. It's a 350, 300 horse crate motor. It's got the power brakes.
Power disc brakes.
Power disc brakes,
In the
yes,
front.
yes.
In the front. Yeah, that's really nice to
Yeah,
have.
and the standard Trans Am brakes in the back.
So you ripped the Trans Am apart to do this.
Right. Transmission's a 4L60, so I have overdrive, and I drive it everywhere. I mean, it's a fantastic
Well, you got
truck.
a nice drive, a 350 and everything. The way it's all set up, you can take this anywhere. Take it to Florida, take it anywhere you want. It's just
Well, I have I
like
had
a modern car.
I had a 37 Ford, which I drove to Florida to test my ability, and I built that car in 90 days from scrap.
Wow, wow, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
This is a beauty too. Really nice, really nice. 53. It's a great year. I told you it's when I was born, so it's 65 years old.
Yeah.
It's on Medicare, right?
Yeah.
And this one was special because they called it the Silver Edition.
Went down the following couple weeks later, picked it up, dragged it back home. 2-year build, went on the road in 1980.
In episode 5, season 1, they actually rolled this car.
On purpose.
Yeah, correct.
Welcome to Tech Tips. Today we have a different angle on Tech Tips, and we got the artist, we'll call you auto artist, auto designer, Gary Campese from Cornersburg, Ohio. Welcome, Gary.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Yeah, welcome. This is really neat. This is all going to be new to us. We've never really did an artist before. We did Guy Shively once, but he's a different type of artist, pinstriping and stuff like that. You design and make cars and draw cars.
Right.
How'd you get into doing this?
Well, I always had kind of like an imagination. From when I was a little kid, I always loved automobiles and airplanes, and you can draw cars and you can draw airplanes, and then after a while you're like, what would this look like with this kind of a feature on it, and how would it look this way or that way? And that's where the imagination part comes in. You can transfer it to paper or now on a computer, and bring your dreams to life.
Did you go to school for this?
I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. I graduated in 1968. I was what they called a commercial artist at that time. Now it's graphic designer. And I had a 40-some year history of advertising. I started with a small grocery company in Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania. We advertised for, you might remember, Foodland supermarkets. We did a lot of their advertising. Then I moved on to Far More. I was their art director when they were in Youngstown. Worked for a Detroit advertising agency where we did a variety of clients. And then kind of retired.
How do, say if you want to little kids to get into that. We got kids watching this. We got fathers, grandfathers, and their grandsons and their kids are watching the show. How do little kids learn to be a car designer? What should they do?
The best thing it can possibly do is learn form, which is how a shape looks in space, perspective, how it actually fits into that space. Things sometimes can look odd if you don't have the correct perspective on it. And in general, when you're a young kid, just do what you want. Just do a lot of it, and don't let the teacher tell you you're using the wrong color paper or pencils or anything like that. Just be free and let yourself develop. You'll never be able to do any more than what you can. So just become the best artist that you possibly can.
Did you start out sketching?
I started out like all the other kids with crayons and finger paints, and I was always the kid in high school that was drawing on the notebook cars and things like that. And that was one of my first callings by other people to do cars. At Christmas, they wanted me to decorate their blackboards in the classrooms with Christmas scenes, but it put like a heart rod in it and stuff. So we had a lot of fun with that when I was in high school.
With me from Niles, Ohio, we have Jim Elbon.
Yes.
With his 49 Merc Custom lead sled. This thing, every time you look at it, there's something different that's done on it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I've done a lot to it.
How long have you had it?
I've had it for about 8 years.
How many?
8 years.
8 years. What have you done to it?
I've re-chopped it. I've a little bit of everything.
Like when you said you re-chopped it, what did you do when you re-chopped it?
I took the top from here, laid it back. I went through 3 roofs to get what I got.
Wow. They finally figured it out.
Yeah.
How much did you chop it? How many inches?
I believe it's 3.5 in the front and 4 in the rear. And I moved the rear window forward.
Like I see this done all the time. It's a real art to do that. It's not something simple to do.
Yeah, I got a lot of pictures of what it was, yeah.
Where'd you find the roofs at all the time? Is this the stock roof on it?
Yeah, that's stock roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some guys I know, they've chopped their cars and they put different roofs on it from different cars, and they fit right on there.
Yeah. These was 49 and a 51, which 51 was really the same car, different back window. But the 51 roof set right down onto my chrome, and I just kept fitting until it laid down in there. It's the first car ever done.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks very good. And you lowered it and everything?
Yes.
Pipes on it? That looks good. Nice touch there.
Yeah.
Can you open those if you want?
No.
They're not hooked up, they're just for show?
They're just for show,
Just
yes.
for show? Interior?
That's probably about an 87 Lincoln upholstery.
Looks comfortable. It looks like you just sink right in, huh?
Yes, real comfortable, yes. Yeah.
You got the spotlights on it and everything, which is cool. How about the engine? What are you sporting under the hood there?
Just a stock 302 Ford.
So just a real comfortable engine. You can drive this thing anywhere, huh?
Even got a 2-barrel on it.
2-barrel? I'm surprised. How about the undercarriage here?
That's 77 LTD.
Oh, okay.
It's been shortened and narrowed and set
You
right.
had to shorten it to put it on here.
It's channeled over the frame. I can show you there if you want me to.
You did it all yourself?
The frame was already done when I got it.
Oh, okay. Where's this car out of, you know?
I think originally it come out of Toledo and then went to Indiana, and then I bought it over in Indiana.
Looks good, Jim.
It was nothing like it. Nothing like it is.
If you're a car guy, you've seen this mug around before. We've had Rick on before, Big Rick, one of the DJs at all the car shows around the Youngstown area. How's it going?
All right, good. And talking about me being around, you're being around too, like that.
I'm following you.
Oh, okay, good. Well, at least somebody is anyway. That's a good
That's
sign.
what it's all about, Rick. You know,
Right,
just coming out,
right.
having a good time with all the car guys. You can't get much better than that. You know?
Heck no. And you look around right now, everybody's got a smile on their face. The weather's perfect.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
what could he say? Let's have some fun.
Yeah. How many shows you do a year?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. I do 3 to 4 a week, so you figure that's 23, 24 weeks in the year. Sometimes double shows. Like next week, I'll do 2 shows on Saturday. So, so figure it out. I don't know.
Quite a few.
I do quite a few, right.
Quite a few. But we're not here to talk about your DJ service and all that. We're here to talk about your 1948 Ford Anglia.
English Ford Anglia.
English Ford Anglia.
Right.
How long have you had this? Rick?
Actually, I found this car in a coal mine right below Cincinnati on the Kentucky line in fall of '78. Went down the following couple weeks later, picked it up, dragged it back home. 2-year build, went on the road in 1980. And it was originally a right-hand drive, all 100% original car. Naturally, not the way it is now, but
These are English cars.
English car, made over in England, right.
And the reason why people did these cars is because they were light and cheap.
They were like
right?
90-inch wheelbase, 2,000 pounds. Perfect car, perfect aerodynamics and everything.
Right. And what have you done to it? Just everything?
Everything.
Was it stock when you got it or what?
100% stock. Didn't have no steel front end on it, no interior in it, but everything else was 100% stock on it. So like I said, a 2-year build, went on the road in 1980. I mean, it's been rebuilt 2, 3, 4 times over and actually like that. So
What do you got under the hood?
it's a ZZ4 in there. It's a crate motor. Transmission is a 400 short shaft transmission. It's one of the transmissions that you actually have to shift. It's an automatic, but you still have to shift it. So it's actually a race thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a fun little car to drive. Like I said, 90-inch wheelbase. It could get you in trouble real quick.
How fast have you had it?
I don't want to say.
In Mexico.
I don't want to say. Barney Fife's around here someplace. He might give me a ticket. He might ticket me. You know how that is.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That moves pretty good, though, huh?
Oh, yeah, it moves real good.
What you do with the front seats in this?
Well,
You're like in the back seat.
Well,
here.
if you look through the rear quarter window, I'm looking right there. You wouldn't believe the people that pull up alongside of me. They don't see nothing. They look in the rear window. I wave to them. They're going, huh? What the heck is that?
Where's he at? Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
but basically everything was moved back almost 12 inches back. The firewalls moved back. Everything was moved back approximately 12 inches. But it's like I said, it was a fun build. It was a fun car.
All right. Rick, thanks for sharing your car with us. We're going to run into you again next week at the...
We're going to be over the church over there in New Middletown right there on 170 in Callow Road.
Right.
11 o'clock the show starts, 10 o'clock registration. I might as well give Dennis some advertisement too. Why not?
They do it every year,
It's
too,
a great show. They get usually a few hundred cars out there. And they said they got the best door prizes this year. That's what Dennis was telling me the other night.
With me, I have Joe and Zach Wilkins from Pulaski, Pennsylvania. Pulaski Township, Pennsylvania, with their 75 Dodge?
75 Dodge Monaco.
All right, okay. And this was the one that was in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes, this was actually the car that was jumped over in the opening credits that they showed the General Lee jumping over. So technically it was pretty much in all of the episodes you would see in the opening credits.
I'm glad you and your son spent all day waxing it today, huh?
Oh, it's a beaut. we got to watch it so nobody scratches the paint. That's why I brought my bodyguard here.
Yeah, I see that. He's got everything on it. Tell me a little bit of history about this.
This car, when the first 5 episodes were actually filmed in Covington and Conyers, Georgia.
Okay.
So they weren't on sets. They actually filmed in these towns and stuff, and they did the chases and stunts on basically public roads.
And how many of these cars do you know of that they have?
In existence, to my knowledge, and anything I've talked to people that are into this and done a little bit of internet research, there are only 2 in existence of the police cars that survived the entire series.
This is what, number 2?
This is number 1.
This is number 1.
This would be the designated as Police 1, and then Police 2, which actually you saw throughout the first 5 episodes. It still survives. It runs and drives. It's in a little bit better shape. So you might even worry about the paint getting scratched on it just a little bit, not much more.
I touched it a little bit, and he said, "You scratched my car."
We don't want to scuff this fine paint job.
Someone, we got a lot of younger kids who watch this show, and a lot of them weren't even born before the Dukes of Hazzard. What year was the Dukes of Hazzard on?
It basically started in the fall of '79, 1979. It went 7 seasons.
And you also told me this was what? This was a state police car before?
Yes, this car and Police 2 were actual California Highway Patrol cars, retired police cars. So they actually had these 2 of them shipped from California to Georgia, used for filming. That's what they started with, because I think in their mind, you want to see how the first season's going to go before we start trying to buy up a whole lot of cars and maybe be stuck with things and see how it goes.
Yeah, like the Charger there. How many of those did they go through?
They went through, you hear varying, about 330, that number's float around. And I guess the police cars, they went through about double that amount.
Okay.
In episode 5, season 1, they actually rolled this car.
On purpose?
Yeah, correct. They rolled this car. Basically, they had the plot of the story, the revenue agent, we're trying to get the Duke boys and all that. And Boss and Roscoe were, in the car, and she wanted to try to get around them, and she ended up basically tapping them, bumping them off the road, and they actually they rolled the car. When you watch it, and then you could come out and actually look at this car, and we could follow, okay, that's the exact crease when they rolled it. This car, 17 of the original General Lees from Warner Brothers actually have documentation and paperwork on, so they're certified through Warner Brothers. They were used, screen used. This car, Police 2, and then Lee 1 that they also found, there's no paperwork with it. So, there's nothing basically saying they're actual screen use, but it is. I mean, everybody knows it. I mean, you could put this up next to the car. Actually, Sonny Schroyer, we just met a few weeks ago, he's 83.
Wow.
I believe it was 83, or he was turning 83 or turning 84. So yeah, they're getting up there.
40 years ago, yeah.
Right. They're getting up there, but the ones that can get out and do the signings and stuff. Like I said, we had him sign this car. That's the first time that we've had one of the stars actual, kind of lean in and sign it. You really can't get in it too easy because of the roll cage and that sort of thing. But he thought it was pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. It's really cool. With me, I have Butch Adams. Butch, where are you from?
Columbiana, Ohio.
Columbiana, with his 64 Chrysler 300.
Right.
Original.
It's all original. It's called the Spring/Silver Edition. It's the only way they made them in the spring of 1964.
Boy, you got her looking nice. You drive her a lot?
I drive it a lot. We drive it all over. We've had it in Florida, Kentucky, Pennsylvania. We travel with it.
How long have you owned her?
About 5 years now.
What's so special? This is a 300. Tell me about the 300 model.
Well, the 300, then they made them in letter cars, 300 Ds, Cs, Ks, and this one was special because they called it the Silver Edition. The only way they made it in the spring was this color with the black Landau roof, the same black interior. So they're limited. They made about 300 Chrysler or 3,000 Chrysler 300s, and they figured less than 10% was the spring edition.
Right.
So it's a rather rare car.
This is very nice, and you cruise around on it all the time, it sounds
Oh,
like.
yeah.
How long have you owned her?
5 years now.
5 years?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got it. I had 30 or 90. Right now, I've got 100,000 on it.
And it hasn't been cracked open yet.
Never been cracked open. When I got it, it had 88,000 on it.
You did take it out to clean it up. Let's check
yeah.
it out here.
Yeah, I took it out, had the cavity painted, and had the engine painted, but the engine was not broke into at all.
Looks good. So this is what size engine is this?
That's a 383 with 4-barrel.
How many horsepower are we talking?
I think it's 305.
You need it with all this weight here, huh?
Yeah, but it travels down the highway absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, these old cars did. Like my old
Yeah.
T-Bird, it's just big. Once you get it on the highway going 60, 70, you're like, wow, this thing
You're just
floats.
rolling right along.
Yeah.
We have another one at home, but when we go out of town, out of state, we choose to drive this one. It's much, much better.
What's this thing weigh?
A little over 4,000.
It's not even a convertible, and it weighs that much, huh?
It's very heavy.
What do you think this thing costs new? Guesstimate.
I would have to guess new this was probably a little over 3,000.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
32,
today is
33.
30,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is pretty bare bones here. No air conditioner. You got power steering and all that. Though.
Yeah, power steering, power brakes, no air conditioning. When I bought it, I looked and there's like a headrest on the passenger side. I said, oh, somebody redid this interior. There's none on the driver's side.
That's all
I
right.
dug into it. It was original. That's what they ordered, one on the passenger side.
Just one. They didn't come stock
They didn't
like
come
that.
two. No.
Oh, yikes.
Just the one.
So you got one option there.
Yep. Yeah, and the air conditioning obviously was an option, but the guy that bought this didn't.
Right.
And fortunately, I got it from the original family. The father passed away, and the son wanted nothing to do with it.
Where was that at?
Down in Southern Ohio.
Oh, Southern Ohio. This is an Ohio car.
It's an Ohio
it's
car.
in really nice
Yeah.
shape. Yeah.
Yeah. We maintained it. I have a 10-year-old grandson that I'm trying to get him into it. He helps me detail it all the time.
Good. Here we are at the 10th annual Fireplace car cruise-in. What'd you call the cruise? It's a cruise-in every week.
It's a cruise-in every week, but today's something special. They decided to do their wrap-up show on Sunday, and they had, excuse my language, a hell of a turnout.
Yes, and the weather always helps out. Weather always helps out.
We couldn't have lucked out any better than that.
No, believe me. And boy, some of the cars here it's not a big show, but if you've never been here, it's just a nice, quaint show to come to and enjoy. Sit down and talk with everybody. Everybody will be your best friend by the time you leave here.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? Again, I say this every time. We see a lot of the same cars come in, and we plan to get everyone, but we got quite a few different ones that I've never seen before.
Yes.
We got Barney Fife's car, and he showed up.
Old 64 Ford.
Original Dukes of Hazzard Police One cop car from the series actually showed up here. What else? We got a ton. I mean,
trucks. The trucks are popping today for some reason. I don't know why.
The trucks are popping everywhere. If you've ever followed how the truck trend's coming, they're huge money. Huge money if you're trying to sell. If you're doing a truck now, this
old
is the
Fords,
way.
Old Chevys.
Yeah, they're coming around. The trucks are huge now. So that's what the trend is now. So if you got a truck and you're doing restoration, now's the time to do it. And now's the time to, if you want to sell it, sell it.
You got it. Or just enjoy it.
Yes.
That's all. You just enjoy. That's what it's all about. The car the craze. Just enjoy what you got, and
it doesn't matter what you have. You could have as long as you enjoy the hobby. That's what it's all about. And every hobbyist is the same. They enjoy everything.
You got it. No matter if it's a $100 car or $100,000 car.
Doesn't matter. As long as it keep people in the hobby, that's what matters. And that's what keeps these shows going and our shows going. Because again, 10 years for us.
This is
10 years.
Episode number 8, and And if the weather holds out, we got 2 more after this, and then we're going to call it quits for the winter.
Yep, I think so.
We're going to hibernate and watch the car shows on TV. You know?
And we'll, again, if you're watching this in the 2018 season, Christmas, we're running them right from the beginning when you had brown hair. So,
Thanks a lot.
I don't even know if you had a goatee yet either.
Yeah.
So for Greg Roten, or for Rick Guerrera, I'm Greg Roten. We'll see you down the road.